Hey y'all. So you may ask, but tranquility, how bad does a narcissist actually get? I mean, how evil can they possibly be? I'm going to give you examples, and I'm going to tell you what their logic is, what some of their logic is, especially those who are on the higher end of the spectrum so far as malignant narcissism. I mean, super hateful, criminality, you know, prone to psychotic breaks and all of that, okay? Because narcissism is on a spectrum, all right? And selfish people will say, "Oh, well, everybody's a narcissist. Everybody has narcissistic tendencies." No, they do not. And shut that up. No, they don't. Stop saying that. You're justifying being selfish and uncaring about what other people go through. I'm not trying to hear you, okay? Get lost. Um, I told you that this is how bad it gets, okay, for some of them. I told you that my friend was staying on um, his daughter's property in a camper that he bought, okay, so that when he worked on her funky car and the car that I was supposed to get, that she decided to keep, um, he works out of town. Excuse me, he lives out of town. So he would stay at the camper so he doesn't have to obviously drive long distance back and forth every day. He was basically staying there. Well, he scolded her son because there was damage to his car, because one of his cars is up there. And uh, her son, who she worships and idolizes, okay? He could do no wrong. Um, he had a party with all his buddies, and the car ended up damaged. And so naturally, my friend got angry and said, "What happened to the car? Because I know you know what happened." That is when his psychotic mother went berserko. He went in there yelling at the kid. Well, what do you expect? Did he go overboard and terrorize the kid? Probably, but kids need discipline. I don't care what anybody says. Kids need discipline. They act like they hate it, but they actually need it. And when they're adults, if they're smart, they understand why they had to be disciplined. All right. Um, so she went off, and it just basically made her snap in her head. And she said, she started texting me, and I said, "What's going on?" And because you don't scold her precious son. He doesn't get, he had a lot of medical problems. She's one of those parents. The kid had medical problems, so therefore I elevate them to king or queen status, and they will never have to have discipline in their life, which is setting your kid up for disaster. Anyway, she knows she's ruined, and she's trying to ruin her son also. Anyway, so she decided to, "No, you don't bully my kids. He don't need to be coming up in here bullying my kids and this and that." He never bullied her or her kids, which is what she said. He only scolded the kid because he was really upset about his car having a dent in it on the side, which it didn't have before. And she went psychotic, and he don't need to be using my electricity and this and that and the other. Mind you, and I told you guys this before, there was a heat wave. Remember? Extreme heat wave. And she snatched his power cord from the camper so that he cannot use so he could overheat at night and probably cannot sleep. And if he did fall asleep, he requires a CPAP, which helps you breathe when you have sleep apnea. So he could quit breathing in his sleep and he could die of a heart attack. And she doesn't care. In her twisted mind, he needs to die for scolding her precious Jesus. And her son is Jesus. He died on the cross for her, apparently. Okay? Little Miss, I go to church. Little Miss doesn't remember one of the commandments, one of the 10 commandments that says, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. That includes your child or your children. Okay? So, a very, very sicker than someone on the lower spectrum of narcissism, a super psychotic narcissist or sociopathic narcissist thinks that you should lose your life because you upset them, you angered them. Of all the things he's done for her, of all the times he rescued her, okay, he has done everything in the world for her. She's appreciated nothing that he's done. And because he took it too far and approached her mini-me Jesus, now he needs to lose his life. I'm not being exaggerative. What do you think is going to happen if you quit breathing in your sleep? Breathing is required to survive. I'm not exaggerating. She took the power cord twice. One of the cords is his. I don't know why I forgot to tell y'all this, but she was just texting back and forth. She basically was losing her flipping mind. And she said she threatened to set his house on fire. I swear to you, if I'm lying, let God hit me with lightning and kill me right now while I'm talking to you if I'm lying. I'm not a liar. And I hate liars, okay? I think the reason I blocked it out is because my brain was going, oh God, that's too much to think about. And my brain just slammed the door on that and triple padlocked the door because that is horrible. That is taking shit too far, and that is absolutely horrible. This goes beyond get out of my face and don't talk to me ever again. You want the person to lose their life. Didn't I tell you the more you do for them, the more they hate your guts? Didn't I tell you that? All narcissists hate when you do things for them. They love it because they're benefiting now, but they hate it because I think somewhere in their twisted mind they believe that they don't deserve to be treated with decency because of the damage that's in their brain. They're extremely illogical, extremely 1000% illogical. So don't expect it to make sense, all right? I told you guys this a long time ago, and this is another prime example of someone doing, a narcissist will do something evil to you, you get upset and or retaliate to protect yourself, and you need to lose your life now. Prime example, another example. I told you guys this a long time ago. I was a teenager and I was working, I think I was a teenager, and I was working at, I was working at a summer camp, and I was a counselor for, summer camp. And one of the male counselors in front of the kids didn't give a damn who was there. He decided to start trying to paw me. I'm in my bikini. We're in the swimming pool. And he decided to get a couple of handfuls, and I'm determined he's not going to do that. And I told him to get out of my face, and he wouldn't. And I eventually had to kick him where because he wouldn't stop. So he's basically trying to sexually assault me. I had never been in the deep end prior to this incident. When I got out of the pool, and I have a right to protect myself, I don't want you touching me, okay? But he sexually assaulted me, and I had to pay the price for retaliating. So when I got out of the pool and I walked by the deep end, he shoved me in the deep end, and I'd never been in the deep end before. And so I Um, I almost drowned. I went up and down, up and down, up and down, because I didn't know. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. And the lifeguard just stood there. I think she was in a state of shock. I don't know if she thinks I was playing, horsing around. I don't know if she just panicked. I don't know what happened. And then she realized afterwards, thank you for not helping me. I basically helped myself. Thank you, so-called lifeguard. Anyway, uh, apparently she must have told our boss, and our boss called a meeting to us, and I told the boss what happened. He said, do you want him fired? Being that I have a tender heart, and that's been my biggest problem because people always stomp all over me, and I'm become extremely hateful now because I'm tired of it. I mean, come on, you're going to push people too far and they're going to snap. Anyway, I said, no, I don't want him fired, but I want him to stay away from me. He said, well, you stay away from her and you stay away from him. I was like, you don't got to tell me twice. I mean, he tried to. So I want you to see how twisted that is. I did something horrible to you. You weren't okay with it. So you need to lose your life. You need to drown. My friend's house needs to be set on fire because he did something she didn't like. Okay? I told you also about a guy who eliminated his girlfriend in broad daylight because he did something exceptionally evil to her. I don't know what it was. She was very angry and threatened to spill some very, uh, uh, I don't know what the word would be, very private secrets to friends of his, and so he killed her. She needed to no longer be alive because he did something hateful. She retaliated, and so you need to pay the ultimate price. This is how sick people are. This is how sick they are. Okay? I grew up in an extremely volatile, abusive home. I was viciously beaten. She never wanted a daughter. She called me a bitch when I was a baby in the crib. Okay? She has violated me. She has allowed my brother, the mother, she's allowed him to stab me. She's allowed him to come after me um, many times, and she did absolutely nothing. The brother is the same one who stabbed me multiple times, a couple of times, and she was in the other room pretending she didn't know what was going on. The ironic thing is she was a nurse, so you made a promise to protect, whatever, take care of your patients or whatever, do no harm, Hippocratic oath, do no harm. She wanted me to lose my life because she never wanted a daughter anyway. So I ruined her life by being born. Therefore, I need to lose my life. When I warn you about these people, I'm not warning you to deliberately scare you. I'm not warning you to make you panic and run away and hide in a room and triple padlock the door. I'm telling you because you do not want to invite poison into your life because they don't want you living anymore. Some of them don't want you living anymore, the ones who are on the extreme end. They don't want you here. Yes, I ruined your life. Yes, I cheated on you many times and I risked you getting HIV. Yes, I ruined our finances and now we can't pay for our mortgage and we can't pay for our bills. But you got mad at me for abusing you, so now you need to pay the ultimate price. This is how sick these individuals are. This is how poisonous they are. This is how vicious they can be. So if I shake your tree about this, I hope it gets your attention because I don't want you to learn the hard way. I don't want you to learn because you chose a beautiful woman that your friends were envious, and this individual is another Jodi Arias. She's the one who brutally unalived her boyfriend at the time. Okay, brutally. Brutally. I did you wrong. I disrespected you. You got mad, or you don't want to be with me anymore, so you need to pay the ultimate price. These individuals are extremely dangerous. Do all narcissists think this way? No. But when you see signs of them being irrational and you see signs of mental illness, you got to get out of there. I don't, and men, you better stop worshiping sex. I know you have high testosterone. You don't want to die for it because you stayed with the wrong person. And your friends and family said, something ain't right with her. You need to get the hell up out of there. His friends, Jody's boyfriend that she eventually unalived, his friends had warned him about her. He didn't listen because he was getting freaky deaky sex from her. He lost his life because he didn't get rid of her. Okay? Because I was born, I want you to listen to how psychotic and stupid this sounds. Because I was born, I was brutalized. I was beaten. I was stabbed. Okay? I was called a bitch as a baby in a crib. What wrong, what horrific thing does a baby do to deserve that? They do what babies do. They cry, they scream, they laugh, they giggle, they get mad, they throw their toy, they throw their spaghetti on the floor. So I need to be called a bitch? Wow. And then when I was older, I needed to lose my life because she never wanted me anyway. So she was pretending, she didn't want to take my life. So she was okay with my brother trying to take my life. These people are extremely dangerous. You don't need to psychoanalyze them. You don't need to intellectualize, well, I need to discover what this person's mental illness is so I have a name for it. You need to get off of that. That is not the point. The fact that they are a loose cannon is enough for you. You don't need to know how many mental illnesses they have. Where does it originate from? I go on that page with people who have hurt me only because after I get rid of them. Only because I'm curious as to what the hell is wrong with you. But I get rid of them first. And if I need to intellectualize what your problem is, that's cool. But I don't need to know what your problem is in order to get rid of you. I just need to know that you are evil. I just need to know that you're hateful. I just need to know that you're putting my life in danger. And let me tell you something else. Your life is in danger even when they don't try to unalive you directly, because the stress and the strain that they put you under will cause you to get physically ill. So your life is in danger anyway. Liver problems could take you out. Kidney problems could take you out. Hypertension could take you out, which is high blood pressure. You could have a heart attack or stroke behind high blood pressure. So if they don't do it directly, they can do it indirectly through extreme stress. Because they're not going to stop until you dump them. And even when you dump them, they can come after you. Either with hoovering, pretending they miss you so deeply and so dearly, or through threatening, stalking, and the whole bit. This is why it is imperative that you recognize red flags, which are red signs. I'm just kidding. But this is why you have to know the red flags in the beginning. Something in your body is going to go, ooh, that didn't feel good. What is going on? That is your body's internal alarm system telling you, Houston, we have a serious problem here. We have a serious problem. Okay? Don't worry about the intellectuality and the diagnosis and are they a narcissist? Are they not a narcissist? Are they a narcissist and a sociopath? Does it really matter? They're poison. That's all you need to know. And when they turn on the charm and flash their pearly white smile and their whole face lights up like a Christmas tree, that is you being played. Because you've already seen the evil side. And the evil side always gets worse. All right? I love you guys. And I don't want something terrible happening to you because of choices that you made and you got sucked into the vortex of this person being a great person, because you've already seen evidence that they're not a great person, regardless of how wonderful they pretend to be. I love you and I want you safe. You dump them. You understand that? You dump them. And you reach out to your family and friends to help you to help support you through the recovery process and the healing process of having to deal with them, especially if you've been with them for a while. All right, you guys, take care. Much love.